Okay, chapter 7. This whole one is on the great. The whole chapter 7 is on the great flood. Okay. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation." In this generation, does that mean like those other ones in other generations? Let me see. Okay, next one. You shall take with you seven of each of every clean animal, a male and his female, two each of the animals that are unclean, a male and a female, also 7 of each of the birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of the earth. Okay, hold on. You shall take with you 7 of each of every clean animal, and 2 of each animals that are unclean. What is the difference between clean and unclean? The command to take 7 of every clean animal is a new detail. The additional clean animals could be used for food and for sacrifice once the waters subside. Okay. But how can you tell what's clean and what's not? It doesn't really say. And what's the point of bringing unclean animals with you if you want to make things new again? 4. After 7 more days, I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy from the face of the earth and all living things that I have made. And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the floods were on the earth. Okay, he was 600. Okay, so he was, like I said in previous videos, like 500, 600, 700, something like that. He was up there in age. So Noah, with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives, went into the ark because of the waters of the flood, of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds and everything that creeps on the earth. 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God has commanded Noah. Okay, so he didn't even bother getting any of the animals of the sea, little fishies, crabs, things like that. It's just above water. That's it. And it came to pass after 7 days that the water of the flood were on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, 17th day of the month, so it's February 17th, and on that day all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heavens were opened, and the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. So it was in February, March, April when all this came and went. But okay, let's look at that. On that day, the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and which could be like deep oceans or so, or like kind of like Yellowstone with waters and everything. I know there's a bunch of locations. There's a place right outside of Roswell, New Mexico that has, God knows how deep the canals are. I forget the name of the place, but it's outside of Roswell, New Mexico. So that area could like come up and everything, the water, and the windows of heaven were opened. That just sounds like sky was bright and everything, but it could also mean just pour down rain. So you got water coming down from the sky and coming from the earth, everything. So 2 different directions at once. Okay, let's look in the bottom section of my Bible. What does it say? For 13, it says nothing. About it, give it more understanding. Okay, 13. Oh, wait, no. 11 and 12. 17th day. This detail is remarkable, but then so was the day. Fountains of the great deep windows of heaven. The waters of the oceans were raised, and the waters of the heavens fell, both converging in a inundation of rain for 40 days. There's so much rain coming down, and like massive flood came up. On the very same day, Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, so a bunch of different bugs, including, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2, of all flesh, in which is the breath of life. So those that entered, male and female, of all flesh, went in as God has commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. The doors were locked. Now the flood was on the earth 40 days. The waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about the surface of the waters. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills and the whole heavens were covered. The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered, and all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit life. And that was the day land died. He also destroyed all living things which on the face of the ground, both man and cattle, creeping things, and bird the air. They were destroyed from the earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive, and the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. Okay. Okay, let's talk about this for a little bit. One big thing that a lot of people have with the whole Noah's Ark is that there were other civilizations going on at the same time. There were like Egypt and all this other mythology, other civilizations going on. People were like, if this is true, like the whole world, the whole planet Earth, was covered and everything, and some of the cattle, like all the cattle, birds, and all that stuff died, then like what's on those ark and everything left, but everything in the ocean's fine too. But like, I honestly think that the area of the world that Noah and his family was at had a big big hurricane, kind of like Irma and Harvey. Like the water rose to like stop signs, past stop signs, 10, 20 feet or so, or I'm not quite sure how high it actually went, but I remember seeing pictures and videos, like all the way up to stop signs, which is taller than I am, flooding everywhere. So something like this, like a big hurricane could have happened in this area, and God was like, hey, I'm your newscaster, and there's a big hurricane on your way. You might want to at least have 2 of every kind animal safe, and At least that's on land and the sky. As long as you have two of every kind, so they could breed and everything, I think it'd be good. And yeah, and that's what it was. I honestly don't think, and like, it's one of those things. Uh, what you think of as your world is different. Just think about it when you're young. Your whole world evolves around you. Okay, like 3, 4 years old, you don't know what school is necessarily. You don't know. Like for me, I don't know. I didn't know what middle school was or high school. Uh, at all. Like there's kids that are like 3, 4 years old, maybe a little bit older. If you're, especially if you're youngest of a few kids, and then uh, that's it. There's your house, backyard, and a few different places that you go out to eat, maybe, um, movie theater, uh, go to Walmart, clothing shopping or whatever, grocery shopping, a few different places when you're young, and that's like your whole world. Your town, your city, could be your whole world. Okay, everything you need is there, so that's your world right there. Okay, it's in the real world. Okay, uh, and so like with Noah and his family, his area where he lived with all these animals could be his world. Okay, so that could be the only thing that could have gotten had a hurricane, things like that. I just think it was a big hurricane, and there was so much of it. It lasted so long. There are still people trying to get things back together with Hurricane Harvey and everything. So that's why I think of what happened. Just big massive hurricane came, and he was able to build an ark. It doesn't say how long it took Noah to build the ark and everything. Some people said pretty quickly, like a month or so. Other people say it took hundreds of years or so. Uh, it varies. But like if you just take what the word of the Bible says, like right there at face value, it doesn't say. Uh, and one thing a lot of people on a side note is that there are pictures of the story of Noah's Ark and everything that shows 2 lions. And then I've seen people make comments saying, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea having 2 male lions breed." Doesn't really work. So, you guys, if you're gonna have paintings of things like the Great Flood and everything, make sure it's decently correct, okay? Because there's going to be people who notice that stuff, okay? And it's kind of messed up. Anyways, that's that for chapter 7. Next video is going to be chapter 8.